My first month posting videos, I was posting like 20 a day on TikTok, like literally just nonstop. And in my first month, I hit 100,000 followers of doing that. And then 2 months after that, I had 500,000. And literally it was just from brute force posting. Yeah, I would say like me personally, I just love networking. I just think networking is like the best thing in the entire world to do. It's my favorite thing to do. Everywhere I go, I'm trying to meet people because every single opportunity you ever get comes from a person. We had a massive, really good crypto launch back in 2021. We made a ton of money, and then we went even harder and put all of our money into doing a second launch that summer, and everything crashed, and I lost everything. You know, so it was going from feeling like I could buy anything and walk around like I was a success to then having nothing again. And like, it was just such a mind fuck because, you know, but it was so good because it humbled me a lot. And I'm so glad it happened to me because, you know, when you're younger, you feel like you just know everything and you're just walking around and like you piss off people that are actually successful because they're like, dude, they're like, fuck this kid, dude. Like, this kid does not know what he's talking about. He needs to humble up, and they wait for you to get humbled and then they want to work with you.
Storm.
The One Network here. Super pumped for this one. I got my man Joey SENDZ in the building.
Let's go.
This guy is the real deal. He kind of represents what we're going after business-wise in the PR space, an industry that's very kind of old and outdated, needs some innovation, needs some new players in the game. I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Has also been a content creator for a while, and I think can speak to us on his kind of experience with that, strategies, tactics. Just sitting here, I'm getting some wisdom from this guy. So, Jerry, without further ado, give us a little bit of background, man. How old are you? How did you get in the biz?
Yeah, thanks for the intro. Well, I'm 23. I got into the whole social media and online space back when I was like 20.
Yeah.
Or I think even younger than that, I was 19. So back then I went to college for a little bit at GCU.
Nice.
And I grew up in Minnesota, so I didn't really have any. I didn't know anybody that was in social media or anybody that did any business online growing up because there just wasn't much of that back in Minnesota. But when I went to Arizona, I made some friends that did social media, and I learned a bunch of it just from like making videos with them.
Yeah.
Because I always thought it was the coolest thing to be in a TikTok, like one that's gonna get a ton of views. Like if somebody has 500,000 followers, like, hey, you want to be in a TikTok with me? I always thought it was the coolest thing ever. There's a lot of people that didn't. But, you know, because I, just made a bunch of videos with friends, I went back home during COVID and I was like, I'm just going to dial in and go crazy. And so I, in that my first month posting videos, I was posting like 20 a day on TikTok, like literally just nonstop, and in my first month, I hit 100,000 followers of doing that. And then 2 months after that, I had 500,000. And literally it was just from brute force posting. Like,
did you do any other social medias before that, or?
No, that was the first one. Yeah. TikTok,
did
especially.
You consume a lot of it? Like you watched a lot of TikToks?
I literally downloaded TikTok to start posting. Okay. Yeah, like I never really did TikTok, and short form wasn't even that big back then. I don't think Instagram Reels was even a thing back then.
No.
And TikTok, everybody was just like, us for girls. Like guys weren't on TikTok really, before that.
It wasn't bro talk yet.
Yeah, but when COVID hit, that's when everybody got on TikTok. And so it was like this huge influx of people, and it was really easy, or a lot easier to go viral. It's still super easy to go viral today, as long as you just keep at it. But honestly, the algorithms change, and different social media sites, like YouTube Shorts for a little while was huge when they first dropped that. And like Mr. Beast was saying, there's going to be a lot of incentives on YouTube Shorts coming up. But, with all social medias, there's one strategy that will always work, and it's to just start posting as fast as you can. Just like, stop thinking about making the perfect content. You need to just start posting. Yeah, just start posting right away. Like literally your first video can just be you picking up the phone and just saying, hi, it's a beautiful day. Like just put something out there and then optimize from there. Because if you just continue to post and watch your videos over and over, you'll see how people react to it. You'll be able to see if one goes viral. Like what I would do is if I saw one video just even get like 1,000 more views than the other videos, I'd be like, why did this one get 1,000 more views? and I would dial in on what the reason was. Maybe it was because it was a video that was only a part 1 and said like and follow for part 2, because back then TikTok was highly incentivizing the part 2s. But yeah, you're basically able to just optimize and make your content better as long as you just start posting and post a lot. A lot of people are worried about posting just like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like they're worried about posting too much, but it's really hard to post too much. Like not many people have time to post too much.
How many times were you like you were talking about just like getting to posting? Like how many times were you posting per day?
I had on average it was probably like 5 or 6, but I had a day one time I remember where I posted 20, and I did that like 2 or 3 days in a row, just 20 videos, because literally I had nothing
20 videos in one day.
I had nothing else to do. I just went back home to Minnesota. I was just like at my family's house. Yeah, I like literally had nothing else in the world to do, and so I was just all day, like 13, 14 hours of screen time on TikTok, just scrolling through, like trying to draw inspiration from other videos and then just doing it myself. Like,
what kind of videos were you doing? Like, what were some of the topics? And
I mean, it definitely was not anything educational. It was all just like
what was it? Like
just stuff.
Maybe like out of those like 20 that you were doing a day.
It was just
talking.
I mean, it was just me just trying to be funny. Like, I had little skits. I would do the trends. That's the biggest thing on TikTok is just doing the trends. Like,
did you use a tool to monitor that, or like how did you figure out what the trends were?
I don't think there were not like tools back then. Like, I was the tool, because I was just on TikTok all day. Like there was not a trend that I did not see, like, because I was on there just constantly. So I was able to feel out what was popping up. Like if I saw 2 people make a trend, I would immediately make that trend, because being at the start of one too is also really big, being at the start of a trend. So, but they'll go so fast now on TikTok, man. It's just like everything moves fast. But now, I mean, what people can do really easily is, back then there wasn't short form content on every social media platform like there is now. You can
saturated kind of.
You can literally take every video and post it. Like, for example, if you're in business even, you can post your video on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter all at once. Yeah, they all have I've even been on Twitter doing the swipe up thing now. Yeah. So you can literally just recycle the content. You have like 8 chances to go viral. You can even do Snapchat. You can do it on Snapchat Shorts. Like Snapchat used to pay out like crazy. Like we're just posting.
That's not the same no more.
It pays out still, but they had some crazy thing. They were paying out $1 million a day to creators at one point.
So how quickly was it before you were like making money on the content?
I mean, after my first month, I got like my first sponsor, which was only like $50, $100 or something. It was the coldest water. It's the coldest water. It's like this like
Blue Chew.
So most influencers, it was a thing, especially back then.
Right.
The first brand that always reaches out to them when they're coming up was the coldest water, like this water bottle company.
Right.
And like everybody was sponsored by the coldest water. It was just funny.
Okay.
But
they reached out to you.
Yeah. But then my biggest sponsor was Manscaped for a while. Yeah. And they sent me all these packages and stuff. And I had I made an ad. It wasn't like an ad, but I just made a video about Manscaped, product, right? And it went. Actually,
trying to shave your butthole, it really helped a lot.
You know what's crazy is I canceled the sponsorship with them because I opened up they sent me the razor, right? And the first time I tried to actually use it on my balls, it cut me. I was like, dude, I was so pissed. I literally threw it away. I was like,
story?
Yeah, this is real. Yeah. But I had one video I made about them that went viral, so they got more than what they needed out of me. Trust me, I got the short end of the stick, but it was crazy.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who are like recommending that like brands like in our space, which is like SaaS B2B, like work with influencers, not even like because they have audiences, but just because they come up with good ideas for organic content. Yeah, well, when you're a creator, you basically it's really hard to be a content creator and do anything else sometimes. Right. It's like I have a lot of respect for people that can, manage their businesses and think about their business all day, and then also come up with content that's really engaging. Because like for me, all day it was like when I was walking around, I was in Target, everything I looked at, I was drawing inspiration from, and I was thinking about content ideas, right? And that's like the biggest reason oftentimes that creators fall off is because they're just unable to continue making ideas, or they're just sick of coming up with new ideas. Because it's draining and it's hard to do almost anything else, right? Like you have to, for me at least, I need to be all in pretty much in everything I do. It's hard for me to be, doing a couple of things at once, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's like I did business for 6 years and I never thought about content once.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
now I'm like, trying to think about it, 50-50 or both ways, because it's kind of like
Yeah.
an attention economy or whatever.
Yeah, well, and it's a flat line until it's like the exponential growth thing. It's a flat line until something just hits big, and then you just like you hit the jackpot basically, and then you just then whatever you did that made you go super viral or blow up on social media, you just repeat that. You just do it over and over.
Do you feel like TikTok in particular helps your business so much? Because like we had a dude who had like, I don't know, a lot of followers on TikTok. I can't remember how many. His name was Jason Stacks. He was like in our early stage community. We were trying to help him start a business, but it seemed like either it fell off or I don't know, that he just wasn't able to get business out of it. TikTok,
well, you just have to decide it depends on just what your audience is. Every platform has its own audience, like that's more prevalent on it. TikTok, like if you're selling B2B SaaS solutions, I don't think TikTok is like that's not just it's just like kids on there, like there are like older people and boomers, but when people are on TikTok, even entrepreneurs, like they're not looking for B2B SaaS, right? But LinkedIn has the short form content now. Posting those on LinkedIn would be huge for B2B SaaS, right? But if you're selling just little products and stuff, TikTok crushes it. Like obviously there's like drop shipping stores and everything. TikTok Shop is insane right now. Instagram is pretty good too for business content. Like you always see, there's all those tools where people can comment and then you auto DM them, right? Like it's like comment freedom to blah blah blah, right? To get my ebook.
We had this guy who had last week. He's got like 200K on LinkedIn, and he's got like 500 comments on every post. And just like he spends like 80% of his day responding to the comments. Dude,
it's huge, man. Yeah, LinkedIn is probably the most powerful social media for business. Like it's the most lucrative because there's just like so many millionaires, even billionaires. I could just see your posts and like want to do business with you because you're just like you have some followers on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. LinkedIn is pretty crazy like that.
So I guess how long was that period, like where you started getting the followers? Like you said, it was like pretty quick.
I blew up like all the way to like my peak of followers within 3 months, and then I just fell off making content because I was just getting burnt out and kind of sick of it. Plus, back then it was really really hard to make money on TikTok, and I mostly just wanted to make money. The followers and like the dopamine of like getting all the views is pretty cool, but. It didn't feel like I was making a ton of progress at a certain point. But obviously, if I did the same thing now with TikTok Shop, it would have been a different story because I would have been able to capitalize in a whole different way. But back then, I just wasn't making much money off it. There wasn't a lot of ways to make money off of my audience on there, at least just funny stuff for kids, right?
Nice.
So
where did the name come from?
Joey SENDZ. Well, so actually, my friends started calling me that in college. I think it was just.
You just like send.
I just love to send it. I mean, I only went to college to party. That was probably the biggest reason I dropped out. It was like the biggest reason I dropped out was because I was sick of partying. I was like, all right, there's nothing left for me here. I mean, it was a business student, business administration. I didn't even really know what it meant. But I was in classes. I didn't feel like I was learning too much. I felt like I was learning more from watching YouTube videos, like new relevant stuff because business changes. Business has always changed, like constantly, but now it changes really, really fast because everything is being updated so fast, and now it's AI and everything. Like there's so many new pockets and new things happening that I don't even know how college is even able to keep up because they got to write those textbooks. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how they can keep up with even the way that everybody.
So quick that it's just like they have now.
I know there's a lot of business principles that will stand the test of time, like principles, but like the information that'll give you an edge, like you need to be on the ground floor to even to get that.
Yeah. Well, it's like, dude, that guy, one of those guys we introduced you to he's like 18. He's got like a web agency, and he's like not even thinking about college. And it's not like his folks are like anti-college, but he's just like
it's like why
like sense. But I gotta there is some pretty good partying opportunities to be had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not getting that fraternity house vibe. Yeah. It's going to be hard to get that without going to college,
And to be fair, the people I met that propelled me, like the people I met in college my freshman year were the people, like I dropped out with all of them. All of us dropped out at the same time, like really? 5 or 6 of us, and we all moved to LA, right? And did business together.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And so, I wouldn't have met them if I didn't go to college. I would have been like just in Minnesota, or maybe I moved to a new city or something, but I never would have met the people that
Yeah.
got me to where I am today if I didn't go to college.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah, there's
yeah.
a group of guys, like there are two groups of guys online. One is from like they're big on Twitter, Client Ascension. Like they're all from like upstate New York. And there's this other group of guys from like Ohio somewhere. Like there's this guy Luke Alexander, No Code Alex, and like they all know each other from. They all like dropped out of school to fucking go to Miami and
Dude,
sell courses.
dropping out of school with the boys is a great feeling, man. Like we all failed our classes the last semester because we were all just sitting there like making dropshipping stores or like learning our crafts. Like my one buddy Carrington.
Everybody
like,
starts with the dropshipping. That's the thing.
Dude, dropshipping is how everybody. I started with it when I was like 16. I was pretty shit at it though because I was like just a kid that didn't know anybody else that did it.
Yeah.
But now, like when I started meeting people that actually did dropshipping and were good at it, it was like a whole new world to me. I was like, wow, none of the dropshipping YouTubers told me any of this stuff. The stuff that's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's dude, getting watching too much business YouTube will like kind of get you into a loop of like it's just like the same 10 things people say over and over and over again. It's very rare, after you watch enough of it, that you find any new insights watching business
it's all
YouTube.
like you got to scale this, like you got to cut out the nonsense.
Yeah, and like the biggest people too, like the biggest people kind of say really the same stuff as each other. Like they all kind of say the same, general motivational stuff. Everybody now just motivates, or everybody like Andrew Tate was like the first person to pop up and actually be different, right? Like everyone's like, oh, he could say that, but now everybody is Andrew Tate. Like everybody's just saying the same thing. Everybody's like, yeah, you gotta be you gotta do kickboxing and work out constantly. Yeah, he's like physicality, his mentality, all that. It's all good messaging. It all definitely does improve your life, but it's definitely not as black and white as you would think. You don't have to do all that to be rich and successful. But but I definitely do. I'm a fan. I mean, I'm a fan of him for sure.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I definitely for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's got a lot of good points, but everybody says that. But
I think it's important to anybody, just like I think it's important to, no matter if you agree with somebody or not, if somebody finds a lot of success and a lot of just success and virality, to just look at it and say, all right, what did they do to do that? Yeah. And there are things about anybody.
This is the thing I will say. I agree with 100% of pretty much everything he says, like all the fucking
yeah.
And I was a big fan and like triggering people, whatever. But the one thing I will say as a businessman who's been doing it for 10 years is that he definitely didn't get rich off of any type of business outside of he got rich off of the courses and the inner circle. You don't think the casinos made no money? No, I think he made it all off the course money. Did you see the Russian, or not Russian, the Romanian mafia put out a statement saying that they had cut ties with the Tate family because they apparently they worked with the Romanian mafia I bet he spent some money and did something there, but I just think that his main, people have to come from different sectors. His main business is the info product business, and he has definitely huge. He's invented basically that strategy where people clip videos of you, and that's like the main strategy that people use nowadays in the business space. Dude, it was like the system that they built was like the most perfect system ever, where everybody was affiliates for Hustlers University, and he would go on podcasts, create inflammatory clips, and then he had all these people that were his affiliates, super motivated to just pump content out there, and so we just had thousands of people every just blew up like that, and you just so much money going around. There's people making like $100K a month being an affiliate for him back when he first came up. Absolutely genius strategy. Genius system, and so but it's important to just anybody that you see do something successful, like break down why and try to take the bias away. Well, that's what I've been trying to do. Like I got like 15, 16, 17-year-old boys, and I'm like shooting on my fucking, Bumble text, the fucking credit card statements, and trying to get them hyped up to do work for me and clip the videos. Dude, that's the key, bro. But I do think that is a strategy. You got to build up the troops. You need to hype up the troops. It's like Alexander the Great, fucking pumping up the army. Dude, it's insane how much more you can get done with a team. Like just having a team, like it's so much better with a team. Like, 2 or like 3 people working together on something can get 10 times the results of one person working on something. The multiplier is crazy. The more people you get together and there's good chemistry,
Everybody's aligned. Like there's no feeling like that. Like just all the bros.
No,
I mean,
you
like
just-
all the bros
Yeah.
sleeping over at the office. Like I'm glad I got to experience that. Like at a young age, like just that camaraderie.
Yeah, you need that camaraderie, and you got to find people who are like really dialed in and who want it fucking bad.
Dude, building up a community and a team that's very loyal and like excited is just, that's also huge. I mean, think about like a lot of Elon Musk companies, people work so hard and they're able to get so much done because they like just love the vision. Like they're just so sold on the vision. There's a huge difference between people that are working just because they're there to get their paycheck and because they actually agree with the mission of the company. Like they're actually just super excited to build something.
And it's like that's why the main reason why I've been doing this community and the early stage content is like to build up that community, because I kind of need that fucking shit. Like in Miami, I had like 10, 15 people, we're paying them like 70 grand a year or whatever. And yeah, they were like they weren't working weekends or nights or any shit like that.
Yeah, bro. No one's pulling up Saturday night to shoot the pod, bro.
Saturday night. They were working on that 4:30 end of the day meeting, and then boom, clocked out. You pay the paycheck. Now, there's some benefits that it's more stable than like a bunch of guys who like want to get rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you want to be like a $2 million lifestyle company, getting some full-time employees is probably the way to go. It's just like more stable, but if you really want to break into the upper echelon, you're gonna need to get some killers, bro.
Dude, you need a company gets big enough to the point where you can't have everybody sold on the vision, right? But you need to at least have the top people. The top people at least need to be sold on the vision. You can't be business partners with somebody that's like, bro, why are you texting me right now? It's a Saturday. Like,
I had this one guy who was like, I was giving him like 10% profit share. I wanted him to be COO, and he we had 1 month where we did like 120K, which was like a lot at that time. And then he went on a honeymoon.
Oh my God.
Not to hit a sore topic here, okay? But he went on a honeymoon for like 3 weeks in Europe, and I flipped out. I said, get the fuck out.
Just tapped out. You can go on a honeymoon, but hop on your laptop a couple times a day. Like I don't know. What was he, MIA
it was the timing of it that pissed me off.
Yeah.
We just hired like 5 people, and but yeah, he was kind of MIA, and he was just bitching about it a lot.
Dude, the entrepreneur life requires sacrifice, bro. You can't just do that. You can't just. You have the ultimate freedom, while at the same time, like you're constantly tied down. It's like it's an interesting thing, entrepreneurship, right? Like all day, I can pretty much do whatever I want, but there's a lot of stuff that I have to do. Yeah. But
you can't just be coasting.
Exactly. Yeah. There's periods of coasting sometimes.
Definitely.
But it's good. It's good to.
Well, if you have a big month, if you grind for a little bit, you can usually coast for a little while, and like you're able to. If you're doing well enough, you're able to fucking swing it.
Or like the between venture coast, like where like you finished up with one thing and you got a little cash and you're just like, all right, well, let me be truly inspired for this next thing, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Kind of let it ruminate. That's kind of what I did with this PR agency, because I've been so big in crypto for so many years, and I had some big wins in crypto, especially even at the start of this year. And so I was just kind of chilling. Like,
were you day trading it, or like how crazy were you going with it?
I was more on meme coins. Like I did marketing for crypto projects for.
You're doing ICOs.
Like a whole year. Not ICOs. ICOs were kind of an older thing. Yeah. I would more help out with like meme coin launches or NFT launches and stuff like that. But then I was just trading meme coins. Like the Solana meme coin game just was going crazy at the start of this year, right? Like when Solana hit $200 that first time, it just hit 200 again. Yesterday after Trump went, everything just went crazy.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Everything went up.
Yeah, but I was just meme coins. You can like literally just. There's no faster way to become rich than meme coins. Like, I mean, it's also, there's no faster way to go broke. Like, it's like both of those things, but, you can literally just hit like insane numbers with meme coins if you just do it right. Yeah. But it's also too, like, meme coin game is honestly, the more you network, the better, because if you're able to know the people that are starting the coins, it makes things a lot easier. You're like, okay, like I can
insider trading.
Yeah. It's like, you can just buy this coin. Well, cause literally it's not even, the crypto is like Wild West, bro. Like those like just DeFi coins that are nothing behind them. Like, there's completely no thing. It's like, that's why it's so messed up. But like people can literally like full on like scam coins, and like it's technically not illegal, like rug ones, Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous, but yeah. You try to.
What was that one with the
Karma will get you, but
There's so many people who run. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like most of them. There's this dude in Miami. They made like a Netflix documentary on him who did like some scam crypto shit. But
yeah, his name was like it was like
he's been on a lot of podcasts. He was on my friend's podcast.
Something Malone or something
Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone. Yeah, he was like I think it was really like Post Malone or something.
Yeah.
It was like his like name.
Yeah, it was Post Malone's fucking backup guy.
Yeah.
But, I had a bunch of crypto back in 2013 at like when it was at $8 Bitcoin.
Dude, did you hodl or?
We were doing some Silk Road action in the fraternity house.
Oh, there you go.
So we sold it to somebody, and then like a couple years later we get a call, and he's like, "How do I sell this shit?"
Oh, it is like up like crazy.
Yeah, he went did like trips around the world. Now he's probably broke again, but
that's how it'll go, man. Yeah.
But yeah, some people just get super psyched. Like at one point I was like using that freaking website where they do like the models, like the financial models, and like you see the like trading view or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like setting up the macros and like the buy orders and all that type of stuff.
Dude, someone was trying to sell me. Someone was trying to sell me the other day on some AI trading software or whatever, and it's like, dude, I feel like every single time it looks good, but I mean, there's some, but they usually blow up in the end. I had a guy I was talking to that I work with, and all of his buddies were all using this AI trading software on crypto, and they were making like crazy returns. They're making like 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, and they're just letting it all ride. And then eventually the freaking bot, something happened, and it just literally lost everything. All 100% of everything's all gone. You know what I mean? It's like it can literally work perfectly for 15 months, but then it might just completely screw you.
That's the risk, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell. And trading strategies almost never last permanently once more people start figuring it out. But
well, yeah, if there's all these people with more resources, you'd think they'd be able to fit. Like, how are you on your own going to beat them with?
You need to have an edge when you're trading. Like you need to, you need to have kind of an edge.
What do you think of Alex G? Have you ever heard of Alex G?
Heard of his name?
He's like a crypto influencer in Miami, or like a trading guy.
Dude, the Miami crypto scene is epic. It's epic out there. You can pay for crypto for like bottles out there everywhere now, I think.
Yeah. There's like there's like little conferences and stuff, and there's all these like whatever the crypto week or some shit.
Dude, my first crypto win back when I was like 20 years old, like if you were able to buy bottles with crypto back then, I would have lost everything twice as fast as I did. Like, oh my God.
Send it.
Dude, it doesn't even feel like real money when you have crypto or whatever.
Right. It's just like bonus money.
Yeah, literally. It's just like, it's like casino chips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess, dude, swinging it in like the new business, Instant Press.
Yeah, bro. So
how did you get into that? What was the sort of decision-making process there?
Yeah. So we went on a tangent there. Like what I was going to say is that, I took my little hiatus after I had some crypto wins earlier this year. And eventually I was like, hey, I need to get back into this PR game because so back when I was launching this online magazine years ago with my friends, and when we were doing that out in LA, we were basically just doing everything to learn about Google ranking.
Were you in LA, by the way? Or was it?
So I was in Long Beach. Yeah, I was in a couple different places. I started in Woodland Hills, then I went down to Santa Ana, and then I went to Long Beach. But Long Beach is where I was for the longest.
Right.
But basically, we were just networking within the PR space, networking with journalists. We were learning how to do press for ourselves because we were just building this magazine, so we needed to learn the whole space. And the magazine didn't end up working out, but we had put ourselves in the news from doing all this. We were testing it out, and then our friends were like, "Hey, can you put me in the news?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll help you out. We'll do it for you." Okay. And then it just kind of spread from there. Just people knew that we could do it, and so it just kind of took off from there. And so for years, people have been hitting me up asking to get them in the news and do all this stuff. And they're like, Joe, you're the only guy I know who can do this. Like, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, a couple months ago, I was like, all right, I actually need to just dial in, actually launch the website for this thing, actually build the, back-end CRM, hire people. And that's what I did. And so we've been launching some good offers, and, it's been a wild success.
How much do you think the press, so I think I told you about this, but I've used this website called The Hoth. It's like, whatever you pay, you get like some CNBC freaking,
press releases
5 times over. Okay, so like we invested into this company, and he was like, I was in Forbes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of the articles, and but he like wanted to put that in all of his cold emails. Like,
Yeah.
do you think like that where you draw the line as to like kind of what's bullshit and what's like legit press?
Yeah. So I mean, there's difference between, most people don't know the difference between press releases and like news stories written about you, which is where a lot of people get messed up, because things like that where you get distributed to like 500 publications at once for like $200, those are press releases where it's the same article and it's like everybody knows it's paid. It's like it's basically like done as an announcement essentially.
Right. They're trying to announce, hey, we got an investment for $5 million.
Like it's pretty unethical to do a press release into Yahoo and then put as seen in
Chris
Yahoo.
Hansen has a huge cock.
Yeah, you can
That's
literally.
what I was going to pay Joey for.
Yeah, we're working on that. Done what?
Like a personal press announcement.
Oh, I've done some about people, like press announcements about people, but mostly it's for companies. Like companies
That's
do it the
probably what
most.
Pat wants.
Yeah.
Shout out, Pat.
Dude, well, we can do anything, but I focus more on getting journalists organically to create articles about people, because those rank the highest. They're like real stories, and then it actually builds a ton of credibility. Because,
do you have relationships with the journalists?
Yeah, so we have like relationships with, and some of them is like I have a relationship with a person that owns like 200 sites. You know what I mean? So like
you're like a distributor or something.
Yeah, like so we have access to over 1,000 different publications, like probably 1,500 in total. Sure. But it's not like 1,500 different people, right? It's like, there's
people that manage sites.
Yeah, there's there are individual site people, but it's a mix. So yeah, but that's basically how it works. I mean, the thing with the PR, the traditional PR agency model is to basically sign you on for a retainer. They say, all right, we're going to pitch you to all these journalists. Usually pretty big. I mean, I've had clients that told me, they're like, hey, I worked with this agency for a long time. I was paying them $20,000 a month. And there was a month where literally nothing happened. Like I literally got no press at all, right? Because there's not really guarantees. And so I was like, hey, I love gambling, but, I think most people don't want to gamble with their company funds. And so I created a solution where it's like, hey, listen, exactly, and this is just because of the custom deals I have with the journalists. I will write the article in-house. You know exactly where it's going to get placed in the timeline for this price. If it doesn't happen for some reason, you get your money back. It's an extremely black and white, simple process. All of the retainers that we have, everything is laid out. Like you're going to be in these publications. You're going to have, this much press, blah, blah, blah. And we have to hit every single one of those deliverables every month, right? So exactly what you're going to get every month, when you're going to get it. You can read the content before it goes out, and they're all organic news stories.
Nice. What are there some typical like types of companies that you work with or industries that really benefit from that?
I would say personal brands is really big. People building up their own credibility for themselves online. So consultants, coaches, but basically everybody wants to work with somebody who's well known and has a lot of status. Sure. Like everybody. So like if you are just a business owner trying to grow your business and network, being able to show that you've been featured in all these different places, you look credible online, it gives you an edge for sure in basically anything that you do. Nice. So yeah.
Do you I don't know, do you find that people like use the press links? Like you see sometimes on a landing page, like as seen in CNN, BuzzFeed. No, do you find that people use it a lot in their testimonials or?
Because a news article, especially at a really reputable news source, is 100 times better than a positive review. Right. And because it takes a different level. Everybody has clients, everybody's gotten reviews before, but not many companies have gotten in the news for what they do. It's a whole different level, right?
Yeah.
And so
I know people who are like really obsessed with getting that type of press coverage. Like they'll do like they build some bullshit partnership with some company that is like it does not exist in partnership. Like I know one guy in particular who's like, do you find like that a lot of people are kind of like egomaniacs about it, or?
There's definitely
that's an element of it.
A type of person that is likes press more than others. You know what I mean? There's definitely people that really enjoy attention, right? And so they come back for more a lot.
Yeah. But you understand that being a TikTok star.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I crave attention, right? I mean that's what I started with doing this for myself, right? So I know how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, but people, I mean, it feels really good. I mean, when you get a news article by yourself,
Yeah.
like when you get in the news and you're like posted on your story, everybody, people from your hometown that you haven't talked to in 10 years are swiping up going, dude, you made it, man. It's so exciting. Like there's no feeling like it.
I need you to explain this to me because you understand this space. So I had a guy who was in my vlog, like prank crew in Miami.
Yeah.
Who I'm like currently beefing with. He like stole a keyboard from me and some shit.
Oh yeah.
He stole my Rolex. That's a rumor that I'm spreading, but I honestly think he may have been involved in it.
You started with the keyboard. Like, you're like, yeah, you stole a keyboard and a Rolex, but dude, my keyboard is ridiculous.
Anyway, so this guy is a musician. Okay, he's like a music producer, and we're gonna overlay this for you viewers. Okay, but I'm gonna show you the actual press, and I want you to tell me how much this costed, or how much it cost, and B, just whatever the process of him actually doing this. Okay.
Let's see it.
So let's see it right now. I'm pulling it up on the screen here. Okay.
Imagine.
Can you see that?
I have that same shirt, dude.
I was gonna say he has a similar chain to like the one that you're wearing. Let me see.
I have the same.
Okay. You don't need this here.
A lot of news doesn't even pop up in the news tab.
So that's not good.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't mean it's a.
Like, does it sometimes like?
Sometimes it deranks. I mean.
Oh, here you go. Okay.
Upcoming 100. Let's see. Wait, scroll through.
He's an LA guy as well. He's got like the same haircut as Joey.
Yeah. Scroll down to the article real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely see this being one good way to tell is if it's AI written. Like you could copy it and put into an AI checker and see if it's AI written.
What does that tell you?
Well, usually that means it's paid for because agencies.
Oh, it's definitely paid for. That's not even a question.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? The question is like, are there levels of paying for it?
Yeah, well, there's definitely different levels. I've never heard of this site, so it's probably pretty small.
It's a mini site. Yeah, it's like one of those.
Yeah, there's public
backlink farms or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I would charge only $50 for an article of this caliber.
Nice.
Likely. So.
Cool.
Yeah, but maybe 100. I don't know.
I mean, is there a friend of the podcast, little guy by the name of Billy McFarland?
Ooh,
Started
no
the
way.
Fire Festival.
He's a friend of the pod?
He's a friend of the pod.
No way. I've always wanted to meet Billy, dude.
Nah, we'll see if we can get him out tonight. Maybe we get him to the club tonight.
Oh, actually?
But question on this, like, do you ever work with somebody like that? Like, he's a guy, Patrick Carroll is kind of along those lines, but these are guys who have provoked press exposure through either doing criminal things, do you know what I'm saying, or doing like crazy things that like people want to hear about. Like, have you ever come up with a viral strategy that involved like not doing something illegal, but just like trying to be notorious? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
most of what I do is like if people have negative articles out there about them, I can surgically go and get those removed from Google.
No, but I mean doing it on purpose. Like, do they like to do negative?
Oh,
to
you're
get,
talking
like,
about
bigger pickups?
Yeah, I've definitely done like I did an article one time about one of my clients, and I said like, and he was like like masculinity like red pill guy. And so we made an article that was like in the tone of like a liberal arts like woman like critiquing him. So like we made an article like pretty much like as if like a journalist was like this guy is just ridiculous.
No way. So that was like something that he paid for to have them say that.
Yeah, because I was doing tons of press for him. I was like, dude, I think this would be funny. Like because it adds more credibility if everything about somebody is positive. It's less credible actually. Then yeah, it's more real if they're like, okay. This guy, people actually do know about this guy because there's haters and lovers, I mean,
that's crazy.
The world today is like 50-50. People either love someone or hate someone, right? Like, if one side, it seems like if one side of the aisle likes somebody, the other side hates them immediately, right?
But I guess so is all press good press.
That's the motto. That's the motto. It's in the long term.
It's definitely better than nothing.
In the long term, yeah. In the long term it is. In the short term it hurts sometimes if it's negative. But
I had like in college, I was president of the fraternity, and we got like written up in like the newspaper at Penn for like having strippers pee on me basically. And
there you go.
I was very happy on that press, but some of the other members of the fraternity were not so happy.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's Yeah, if
Because
you
we were like a mid tier, you know, we were not like on the top tier of the list, but this like
Yeah.
brought us into more.
No,
But
it
you
got
have to
you in
know
the
how to work
limelight,
it.
dude.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like then I worked that a little bit. I was like, yeah, did you see the article?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like yeah. If I saw the article, I'd be like, I should check that spot out.
I need to
I'm like,
check that
I should
out.
check that
That's
Frat
pretty
out. I gotta rush there.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like in the Wolf of Wall Street when they write that hit piece on him,
Yeah.
and then he's all pissed about it. And he goes into work, and there's just like hundreds of dudes all trying to work for him because they saw the hit piece of like, they're like, he just, you know, they just do cocaine, have strippers, and make hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. Like,
That's what every single business move that I've ever done is all based on the Wolf of Wall Street. That's like what got me into it.
dude,
And I've done everything from bringing the strippers to the office to
Mhm.
you know some other stuff in there. But
dude,
it's
because
interesting how accurate that is.
it's like the goal, like, you know, that's like peak to be able to live the Wolf of Wall Street life, like run an
Exactly.
office and do all that stuff.
You
Like,
gotta have the office, dude. That's why I'm like you, dude. You gotta get the office, man.
I do need to get the
You
office
need
again.
the crew in there. You gotta. It's worth the.
Yeah. When I worked at home for the longest time, I was like, all right, we need to get an office. And we got the office. After working in the office for a while, I was like, all right, I kind of miss working at home. It's but it's different, a different
Dude, yeah, I have
vibe.
this huge stable in Miami, and it's just like you get like 20 people in the office or something. It's like a big ass room, and it's just like you see everybody on the phone. It's just like there's no equivalent kind of
Yeah, dude.
pump up, you know. Than that.
Yeah, I want to get like a big like warehouse. You know, like a big like warehouse where there's, you know, tons of fun stuff to do in it. Office space, like everyone can just kind of either chill or work, and it's like in the middle, you know.
Yeah.
Ride segways around, that type of thing.
Segways around.
Yeah, exactly. Race little go karts inside of it and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little mix of work and play. Back when I did door-to-door sales for a while when I was in California, and every single night, me and my roommate, because like the door-to-door sales company like threw like 4 dudes in each 2-bedroom apartment, right? So I was like sharing a bedroom with this guy, and every single night we would watch Wolf of Wall Street and fall asleep to it.
Get pumped out.
Yeah, to literally like just so our brains were marinating sales like just all night, you know.
Well, there's another movie called Boiler Room with Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
it's like the same story as Wolf of Wall Street. But,
Yeah.
I actually, when I was in Miami, Bill Ford who does social media. He does like same shit we do.
He goes hard on it.
And, he had an assistant who was like 6'2". She's like a super tall girl.
Really
Yeah. And I interviewed her,
nice.
and she was like complaining and bitching about Jordan Belfort, like that he makes her do all this shit. She's gonna sue him.
What does he make her
And
do?
so
Like, do all this what?
Dude, you gotta fire her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did he respond?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Did you get
He's
fired?
like, thanks. Yeah.
That's
But
good.
then she did sue him.
Real shit, dude.
So
You gotta look out. You know, she didn't.
gotta look out for the boy.
Dude, literally, bro. It's like if she like, yeah, she didn't understand where the loyalties were at. You know.
Yeah. You gotta be careful about that type of stuff.
Did you ever tell her you're like yeah, like I'm a huge fan of Jordan, you know, like or no?
Oh yeah, I entertained it, like because having like a high tier like hot secretary would be a major elevation of my business game.
Oh, for sure, dude.
I ended
Yeah,
up getting another hot secretary, so it didn't matter.
that's always that's one of those things too, where like you know they don't teach that in business school. Like
Hot secretary.
yeah, like they don't teach it in business school. But like you know, like yeah, like it's one of those things where when
You gotta
people
be careful about that because it can distract your like you want to have
Oh,
your
yeah.
male employees who are the sales, you know, your salespeople.
yeah,
You want them you want to keep them hungry. Okay,
Yeah.
if you throw a bunch of hot girls in the office, you're gonna watch that hunger and that focus dissipate very rapidly. Like
Dude.
within a matter of days, the behavior totally changes because now they're just trying to impress the girl.
oh yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, they're just you know they're not
Especially if they're young, like early 20s guys.
they're not as bro, you know, like they're a little bit more. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That you know, in sales, when I did sales, the hot girls were either the best or the worst. They either outsold everybody or they just never worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, but they were literally slayed, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the biggest factor is like, I mean, I feel like I can tell nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just like it's really like verbal fluency, like how good they can speak.
yeah,
Because even if you're like super attractive, if you don't speak well, even if you're motivated and you're a hard worker,
mm-hmm.
that can derail because people feel like they're getting played on the other end. Do you know what I'm saying?
Being well spoken makes everything a lot easier. You know,
That's
people
super important.
people need to feel like people don't want to work with people that they feel are dumb. You know what I mean? Like,
I had this one girl
yeah.
that I hired who was like dumb as a rock. I want to bang her basically. But she, it's funny because I fired her because she kept making typos in my name. She was
Really?
spelling CHIRS in like messages to clients.
Like curse?
Like she was texting. She was
Oh my
also
God.
big on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
But eventually she ended up getting fired from another guy who came on our podcast who has like a $10 million company. She got hired there for like the same job.
Yeah.
And then he texted me. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I just had to fire her."
I had to let it go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you definitely can't optimize only for looks when it comes to hiring people for your business.
Have you fired a lot of people or not?
Definitely laid people off.
You don't look at it as far. You're making it sound very nice.
Yeah. I haven't had any like very incendiary firings or anything like anything super crazy. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad.
Nice.
So
yeah, I had a guy who was like, he came to me once and like his girlfriend like moved to a different state, but he had to stay in Miami.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, like he like fucked up a bunch of client calls. Like he was just like out of it. And then he was like, yeah, man, like my performance is not going to be the same because like I'm depressed because my girlfriend left. And I was already having bad months. So I was just like, fuck you.
Dude, get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
He's like, you can't say that to me. And I
Dude.
said, the fuck I can.
Bro, that's just ridiculous, man. You can't let, bro, people, you can't, like, if you tell somebody in business, when you're an entrepreneur especially, like, if you tell somebody you're going to get something done, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do this, like, you can't say, oh, something came up. It's like, I don't care what happened in your personal life. It's like, it's your job to get it done.
It's a dumb way to negotiate. Like, I've never had a job personally, but if I did, I would, like, want to portray the best version of myself. You know what I'm saying? But that's a problem.
Yeah.
With, like, people is that a lot of times they want to be like, you know what I'm saying, like very touchy feely, and it just doesn't work in business.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Like playing on emotion too much. Like it's just, yeah. I mean, because it's really business is just like math in a way, where it's just like 1 + 1 = 2. Like if you can't bring the one, then if you can't bring your side, then we can't work.
Nice.
Like you hire people to get things done. Not to possibly get things done.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a delicate game.
It's hard. It's hard to find really good people, though.
Skills to learn.
It's tough to find good people too.
Right.
And once you like have nurtured somebody for a while, like it's hard to replace them sometimes. Like that's what my dad always said growing up, because he's an entrepreneur, and he said if you ever work somewhere, you need to your only goal should be to make yourself impossible to replace.
No, I agree with that.
That's essentially the goal, because as soon as
that's what I tell everybody.
It gives you all the leverage and the stability.
Dude, yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way to win is to just get the leverage with your employer. Yeah.
Dude, I can even think of I have friends that don't even technically work for me, but we work together. And I'm like, dude, if I lost this guy as a friend, it would be devastating to me. Like, because he just does so much stuff for me all the time,
Oh yeah, dude, I've had people like that. But yeah, and then when you do lose those people, like I've unfortunately had the experience of losing the people, and it's like, dude, it sets you back so much. So you really got to think about. You really got to ask for feedback. If you know that somebody's a really big deal, you really gotta plan around it.
Dude, breaking up with a business partner, they say it can hurt even more than breaking up with a girlfriend. If you've worked together for long enough, and it can damage your life crazy, in a crazy amount too.
Yeah.
Right. Having to divvy up the businesses, having a huge fallout with some business partner. It's just
I haven't had
horrible.
Any business partners for the last I did originally, but a bunch of my business partners. One business partner I had went on. He's huge on Twitter. He sold his company for $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that guy, I'm should stay.
Should have stuck around that one.
But other ones didn't go anywhere. So the last couple companies I haven't done any business partners because I'm just dude, I just want to let this be my money. Let this be my. We don't need to have any drama, and I just keep it under control.
Yeah.
But I've talked to a lot of people in this podcast who have really companies that I envy, and they have great business partners.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's a luck thing. If you just find the right person and you have the right alignment, but you also kind of need a personality that's cooperative. Do you know what I'm saying? Some people dude, I don't have cooperative personality. I'm
gotta be agreeable.
You gotta be agreeable. Yeah. Which is a personality dimension. Yeah.
Yeah, I certainly do have that trait. I've always worked pretty well with having business partners. And the thing is if people don't the biggest problem that you'll have usually with business partners is like they just won't do their end of things. Like they just won't it's hard for both people to be equally as all in or equally as motivated and like willing to put in the same amount of work, right? So sometimes there's like a, there's
somebody's
like
always doing more. It's very similar to an actual relationship. Like you could be paying all the bills for your girl, but like you gotta like if you're getting what you want out of it, you gotta be cool with that. Business partners is exactly the same way, which is like your business partner may be a more dependable person than you are. They work not as hard, but like maybe they have better like stature in the business world. Like they have better, whatever. They've got a better background than you. Like that'll help you raise money, and that's a key factor in your head.
It's important to pick somebody that is strong where you're weak.
That's what I've heard too.
That's
a lot of people say that.
Yeah, because that's the best way. Like if you pick, like it's almost pointless to have a business partner that's like the same archetype as you. Like good at the exact same things as you are and bad at the same things as you are. Like it never really works long term, because you're just basically two of the same person and it feels like one of you isn't needed anymore, But like when one person does one person's the sales visionary guy who, is really good at talking to people, and then the other business partner is just like a tech nerd dude who puts all the systems together and does the accounting and like makes sure everything gets fulfilled on time. Like that's an epic partnership, you know what I mean? Because like each person knows that, like, because then you aren't comparing time as much. It's just like, listen, I handle this side of the business that you don't want to do. You handle the side of the business I don't want to do,
Yeah. I think that's good tech.
Yeah, I've found a lot of success with that. With like finding people that are. So I've had business partners that are like the exact same as me, and I've had business partners that are opposites of me. Yeah. And I'm still great friends with the people that are the same as me. But
so one thing that you were saying, you could be friends with them. But then the other thing when you were saying before was like not watching business content, or that it's the same advice. Like, what do you recommend? Like, let's say we got a fucking 18-year-old who's like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do this bullshit. I want to fucking do a company. Like, I'm ready to do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Like, what do you recommend they do? Because a lot of them, they go to the courses, they go to this or that, and then they can end up in that cycle for a couple of years.
I'm huge on networking. Like, so like too much of just the online stuff that all the millions of people in the world can watch. It just becomes like mental masturbation at some point where you're just watching the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
And
There's like all these people who are like watching it and they have like no revenue or whatever.
Literally, it's like, it's just like you just sit there on your couch watching the YouTube video, like getting motivated, but you don't use the motivation or anything.
You're still sitting on the couch.
Yeah, but the best thing to do when you're first getting started is you just need to meet people that are already doing it and provide them some sort of unique value.
Yes,
like even if that value is just literally your energy, like you just being a young, excited person willing to do anything.
Yes.
And you have a smile on your face and you're just like all in, like, listen, man, like I'll help you out. Like people love that, man. Like 100%. People, like you were talking about, like how you love your 15, 16-year-old employees. Like getting them fired up.
Well, that's like we have the Discord for the early stage because we want, like, I feel like the easiest way to get a business started is you connect them with a later stage person. So I got a guy who's like 50, he's been doing business for 20 years. Then we got like a 17-year-old in Norway. And I'm like, dude, like I link you with this guy. You just make this guy happy. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden you have a business and a personal brand.
Dude, I like, when I first got really into business and I made some good money at a young age, I obviously like my ego got so fired up and like I would, go on podcasts or just when talking to people, I would spit game as if like I knew everything about business. And like I really truly believe that I did. And now I look back at those podcasts, I'm like, dude, this is such a dumbass. Dude, like, funny, you know what I mean? Like even now, like I'm like, I can say stuff that I learned from experience, but I still feel like I know nothing. I could
bullshit way better earlier on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. Literally.
When I was like, the first trial I was 20, I was like, bullshit. I talked about stuff like I had fucking done it for like 100 years.
Bro, literally, dude.
But now I can't. Now that I've had all these failures and like different things, like now, like even it was almost like easier to do earlier on because like you could just fucking say shit and people would just believe you.
Full on confidence, just like this is the only way to do everything. Like what I'm saying to you right now is literally the only way to do business. Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, it's the you gotta meditate every morning or else you'll never make $1 trillion. Yeah, but like, dude, now that I've had the opportunity to meet and be mentored by so many older guys that have done so much more impressive stuff than I could ever imagine, like. you know, it's like you truly feel like you know nothing, you know, and like the more it's like they say the more you learn, the less you know. You know, like your circle gets bigger of knowledge, and you realize there's so much more outside the circle. One of my old business partners' dads, he was an entrepreneur, and he would mentor us a lot. Right. And he said the biggest thing he would always say is that it's the stuff that you don't know that gets you. It's the stuff you don't even know about that is a thing that can screw you over. You know, like there's things that you know about that can screw you over that you'll be able to avoid, but there's a lot of things where you're just you didn't even know that existed, you know, and they can come to bite you.
That's for sure true.
So, but I mean, you learn so much stuff from guys who have been in it for so long, you know, but it's important to also like, you know, the people that I met that bolstered me into, you know, my first success in social media were my age. You know, they just done different stuff. Yeah, they knew it already. You know. Yeah, I would say like me personally, I just love networking. I just think networking is like the best thing in the entire world to do. Yeah. Like it's my favorite thing to do. Everywhere I go, I'm trying to meet people because every single opportunity you ever get comes from a person.
Right, you know? It doesn't come from things, it comes from people.
It comes from people. A person has to bring you an opportunity. Right. Like there is literally no opportunity that doesn't come from like a person or somebody putting it out there. If you find some opportunity online, it's because somebody wrote that article about it or posted that video about it. Yeah, and it's like a cheat code, dude. Just people want to help. Like, that's one thing I didn't understand. I didn't understand that, but I quickly learned it when I was younger. That older people, especially that have done business for a long time, they literally just have some drive where they don't want anything back. It literally fulfills them so much to teach somebody like what they know. They just want to sit there and like, if you talk to somebody like me and my old business partner used to go to the cigar lounge in Irvine all the time, just to sit there and talk to like these older business guys, and they literally like. Since we actually were sitting there and wanted to learn from them and like, you know, everything they said to us, we were fully absorbing. They wanted to just tell us everything, you know, like the amount of wisdom and game you get is just ridiculous.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. But to get back to the question, you know, if I was 18 and I was starting over, I would just go and try to meet as many people as possible and, you know, do whatever I can it's like it's kind of funny. It's what Andrew Tate says. He says, just go where the money is. He's like, you're here. The money's over there. Go over there. Go where the money is, right? If you're in a rural, small town in the middle of nowhere, like leave it. Get out of there, right? Like there's no money there. Go to New York. Yeah, come to New York City. Come knock on Chris's door. He'll hire you.
Yes.
Right? He's he wants to mentor the youngins. Yeah, I mean you'll meet people, and if you're excitable, people will want to. I don't know. They just want to. Is that a little tiny mini elf bar?
Yeah, it's a little. I bought that at the club last week with Sergio.
I've never even seen one that small. That's crazy.
I know, that's a little. You could smuggle this into prison, bro. That's how small it is.
That's crazy, bro. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Sweet. What was like the biggest setback that you had, or?
Biggest setback was just having massive we had a massive, really good crypto launch back in 2021.
Okay.
We made a ton of money, and then we went even harder and put all of our money into doing a second launch that summer, and everything crashed, and I lost everything. You know, so it was going from, you know, feeling like I could buy anything and walk around like I was a success to then having nothing again. Yeah. And like it was just such a mind fuck because, you know, but it was so good because it humbled me a lot. And like I'm so glad it happened to me. Because it's like we were saying, you know, when you're younger, you feel like you just know everything, and you're just walking around and you piss off people that are actually successful because they're like, dude, they're like, fuck this kid, dude. Like this kid does not know what he's talking about. He needs to humble up, and they wait for you to get humbled, and then they want to work with you.
The ups and downs are also part. Like I've met so many people that are older entrepreneurs and significantly successful, and the downs, that's just part of it, dude. And it's actually an opportunity to get better because if you can come back, if you can go down big time, come back quick, and think of what you can do when you're up the next time, right? Now you're not going to fucking slide on the pedal. Now you're going to, when you really have that opportunity to go big time, now you're going to fucking double down.
Because all you think of when you're down is, oh my God, when I'm back, it's going to be so different, you know? Yeah. And it's important too because, at first, like all of my self-worth basically became like my success. I was like, dude, I am a social media guy who's made a lot of money at a young age. Like, you know, like money was literally all of my self-worth. It was like that identity with being like a young, successful person. And so when I lost it all, it was such a like, I was like,
You
it
don't have
almost
an
felt,
identity
it was like, where is my identity is
Yeah.
gone, so it was like an ego death, like, like literally.
No, I've had that situation.
And so I literally
You're
just,
so tied to the success. Yeah.
exactly. So I had to like rebuild, I had to like rebuild myself from the bottom. And then like when I was able to find success again,
Right.
like it was just,
Now
I was a completely different person with it, like, yeah.
Sweet.
So I think that's, it's important to have those failures and,
So what are your objectives, man? What are you trying to fucking accomplish right now?
Right now, I just want to see how big I can take this PR agency. It's kind of
You want to sell it? You want to get it like to you have a revenue number in mind?
I don't ever. I mean, I definitely am not building it with a plan to sell it. Yeah, I'm not building it with a plan to sell it. I'm building it to see how big I can get it,
Right.
and really just how much value I can provide. Like, I want to see how many people I can actually do this stuff for, and have a positive impact on their business. Because like, I have investments in other stuff and do other things where like I don't like need to do this PR agency. It's just like this is like I love building businesses. I love doing something. Yeah, it's my focus right now. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to see how far we can take it and to help me learn. I'm learning so much more about business as I build it. I learn about these new lead gen things. Meet a bunch of new people. Like I just met Chris like a month ago and working together. He's been helping me out with lead gen, doing a bunch of different stuff. A bunch
and I
of new
met
stuff.
you through some other guy who's a client of mine.
Yeah, I met him through James Moran, dude. I met him on LinkedIn. Shout out James. I met James on LinkedIn.
Very cool product, that concept, by the way. It's had a lot of traction. Yeah.
What is his name again? It's
Sociable.
Sociable, yeah.
Social media insurance.
Yeah,
we now that I know all these like canceled influencers.
Yeah,
because that's like who I get on the podcast. It's like canceled influencers.
Literally.
So now I know like we can do some big things for James Moran.
Dude, literally, it's pretty cool. But I literally met him just so every single week. Like I was talking about, networking is my favorite thing in the world, right? And every single week I go out and I max out my LinkedIn connection. I just look up CEO and I just go connect. Yeah. Everybody that responds or that like connects back, I just message him, hey, what's up? So I just shoot him a hi. And he was one of those guys that I shot him a hi and we just chatted. We hopped in a Zoom, hit it off.
When are you here till?
I'm here till Wednesday.
Is it the 12th?
13th. Yeah.
Oh, dude. So we have a big networking event here on the 12th.
Oh yeah. Boom.
He's like a Boone Chu. He's an Invest VC.
Okay.
But we just did a big one on Thursday. Didn't make it. I was a little hungover, but
there you go.
Or Friday, whatever the fuck it was. But no, actually, I lied. I had a date or something. But we have another one on Tuesday.
Okay, got you.
So the in-person stuff is like
let's run it.
Better than LinkedIn.
Dude,
especially in New York.
I pay like $400 a month for my gym just because they throw networking events on the rooftop. Like, just because everybody there is entrepreneurs. So like, if I'm working out, like I'll just pick up conversations with people, or like. But
it's just like
networking events there. It's crazy.
Dude, if there was like a very expensive gym, I would pay. Like you try to distinguish yourself in some way. So like, if there's like a $5,000 gym, dude, and they have like a like a fucking ice bath or some shit.
Dude, they have an ice bath at mine. They have an ice bath at mine. Yeah. It's nice. They got everything. I don't even like use it anymore. Like I literally just go and work out. Like and then I just use the networking events.
Hell yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah. No,
cool.
It's good, dude. It's good to be in an environment surrounded by people that are also killing it. Your environment is the biggest thing ever, man. Environment in your group. Yeah. There needs to be people around you that are killing it at all times, or else you can't let yourself get caught up in the. I guess you can't just be caught up.
No, you can't let yourself go down. You got to keep yourself up.
Literally, you need to be around people that are better than you all the time. People who are smarter than you.
That's
who are better. Thing. A lot of people fuck up because they just want to be around people that are like worse than them, so that they feel superior. They feel like, oh, I'm the goat. Like, because all my friends, I make $70,000 a year. My friends only make 30, dude.
You want to drive maximum insecurity if you want to.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta have some perspective at the end of the day, like some faith. But I think like in general, you should hang it. I mean, you should try to. We don't want to say cut people off, but you gotta, dude. Most of the people who watch our stuff and who are like into business and like they really gotta go on a solo. Like a lone wolf mission, cut off all the friends. Like it's gotta be a rebirth, like a Jesus type rebirth. For most people who get into business now, some people get into it. They already have career success.
Yeah,
like they're already successful people, it really is different. But if you are coming from the position like I was, dude, I wasn't fucking successful at shit, dude. Like I wasn't good at like fucking sports or
Same, bro. Neither was I,
so
bro.
this was like I was like I gotta make money. Okay, at least I put these people to shame. I'll make more fucking money than them.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was no choice for me. And I think a lot of people get into business are like that. If you are like that, then you definitely have to ditch your existing friend group, build a new network, and go fucking hardcore.
Move somewhere new.
Move somewhere new.
Move somewhere
I know
new.
a ton of people. They move to New York, Miami, and then like they go into debt, buying bottle service, but then they figure it out somehow.
You need to just put yourself in an extremely uncomfortable new scenario where there's like unlimited stuff to learn, like where everything around you is new. All the people around you are new. The environment is new. The city is new. The businesses around you are new. Like, it's how you level up.
Shock the system.
Literally shock the system, like shock the muscle, it's just like shock your system. Exactly. Yeah. Put yourself into scenarios where you have to win, where there's no option but to succeed.
Cool. Sweet. Joey, where can people find you, man? How do they work with Instant Press?
Just at Joey SENDZ on Instagram, on TikTok, LinkedIn, just look up Joey SENDZ. OnlyFans. That one's a different name. Yeah, and then instantpress.co. That's the website, instantpress.co.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to take advantage, you want to get the news for only $49. It's a special offer we're running, instantpress.co/49. And we'll get you in the news. We'll get you taken care of.
Guys, and if you're on the Discord or the Slack, give me a shout. I'll introduce you to Joey directly. Tell me, though, what kind of press you're looking for. You're looking for that personal press? Do you have a business? You're just trying to increase the profile. This guy's got some pretty crazy deals and packages that he's been offering the members. And, for a guy of his experience, I think it's like pretty incredible. So you don't really want to miss out on this, guys, honestly. So we'll see you on the next one. Thank you, Joey, for coming on.
Let's get it, bro.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yes, sir.
Storm.